Picture two students. One studies for 33 minutes a day, gets 8 hours of sleep, maintains a social life, and somehow manages to score in the top 5% of the class. The other studies for 4 hours daily, sacrifices sleep, rarely sees friends, and still struggles to maintain a B average. The difference between them? Not intelligence, not dedication, not even luck. It's how they study, not how long they study. Most students fall into the trap of believing that the more time spent with an open book, the better the results. Schools reinforce this belief with vague advice like study for 3 hours or review the entire chapter. But time alone doesn't equal learning. If it did, every exhausted student pulling all-nighters would be acing exams. The truth is, real learning happens when we focus not on the hours we pour in, but on the strategies we use. Before we dive into this, take a moment to think about your own study habits. If you had to rate them from 1 to 10, where would you stand? Got a number in mind? Great. By the time we're done here, let's see if you still feel the same way. Let's talk about that night that changed everything. Imagine a student sitting in a dorm room, surrounded by empty coffee cups, highlighted notebooks, and a clock blinking 3 a.m. After 12 hours of non-stop studying for a psychology exam, it should feel like progress has been made. But instead, the information is slipping away like sand through fingers. The problem? They were doing everything right, or at least everything they were told was right. Highlighting key points, rereading chapters, writing detailed notes. But deep down, something was off. And sure enough, the test results confirmed it. Failure. Not because of laziness, not because of lack of effort, but because the entire approach was wrong. This is the productivity illusion, mistaking effort for effectiveness. We drench textbooks in highlighter ink until they look like abstract art. We reread the same paragraph over and over, hoping it finally sticks. We write pages of notes we'll never look at again. All of this feels productive, but in reality, it's just busy work. If you've ever spent more time picking the perfect study playlist than actually studying, or spent an hour color-coding notes instead of learning, you've fallen into this trap. But don't worry, there's a way out. Studying isn't just about consuming information, it's about retaining it. Picture two students again. One studies for 5 hours but retains only 10% of the material. The other studies for just 1 hour but retains 50%. Who learned more? It's not a trick question. Retention is the game changer. Your brain isn't a sponge that automatically absorbs everything it reads. It's more like a muscle that needs training and rest to grow. The key to effective studying isn't cramming in more hours. It's increasing how much information actually sticks. And the best way to do that? Active learning. Active learning means engaging with the material rather than passively absorbing it. Instead of rereading a textbook, try explaining the concept to someone else. Instead of rewriting notes, test yourself with practice questions. Instead of staring at highlighted pages, apply the information to real-world problems. Passive studying is like trying to fill a bucket full of holes. You can keep pouring in water, but it'll never hold. Patch the holes first, and suddenly, your effort pays off. Now that we know the problem, let's talk about the solution. A study method that takes less time and gets better results. Here's how it works. First, break study sessions into shorter chunks. 30 to 60 minutes per subject is ideal. The brain absorbs information more effectively in smaller bursts than in marathon sessions. Next, start every study session by testing yourself first. Before reviewing material, try recalling what you already know. Identify weak spots and focus on what needs improvement. Active study methods are key. Answer questions, explain concepts out loud, and use flashcards. The more you interact with the material, the better your brain holds on to it. Connecting ideas together also helps. Our minds remember patterns and relationships better than isolated facts. Finally, do a quick review before bed. Your brain consolidates information while you sleep, making it easier to retrieve later. Now, let's go back to that number you gave yourself at the start. Do you still think your study method deserves that score? If not, that's your first sign you're ready to level up. The choice is yours. Keep doing what doesn't work, or try something that does. Either way, the clock is ticking.